Civil society organizations implementing the Alternative Basic Education for Karamoja ABEK project are imploring government to fast-track the coding process of various learning centers and community schools onto the national primary school curriculum. Findings by Uganda Debt Network, a monitoring partner of the project, show that about 145 community schools, which were formed from ABEK learning centers in Moroto, Apac and Kotido, still depend on donor aid for sustainability.
Save the Children Uganda and government have been partnering to see the ABEK program's success in achieving its goal, which is including pastoralist communities of Karamoja into the civil community of Uganda since 1998.
Because initially the entire running of it was by Save the Children. So the government came in to take up the salaries of these ABEK teachers. So that's the contribution of the government. And of course, we as the education managers in the district, we play a role of support, supervision and inspection. So that's the role of government in this program. So as I talk, all the ABEK teachers are on the normal government payroll under scale U8.
Despite government taking on some community schools that were formed as a result of merging ABEK centers, some glaring challenges still hinder their functionality.
Government has actually done a commendable job of coding some of these schools, but we also noticed that a number of these schools have actually not also been enrolled into the UPE program, and they have not been coded to be taken up by government. Over 145 schools are still lacking funding from the government. It implies that they still largely depend on the donor funding. Teachers are employed by the donors. Everything at school, the scholastic materials, basically these schools don't get the capitation grant like the other schools that are under the universal primary school education.
With classes running to primary 4 and enrollment of up to 400 students, Abra Polo Jala, the head teacher of Kanangakinoi Community School in Nakapiripirit district, justifies why the schools need to be coded.
This school is being coded because there are so many things that are lacking in this school. First of all, the school does not have teachers' houses. The school does not have enough classrooms. Apart from the only one, the donor has built this one. The school lacks so many things, no feeding program in the school.
Findings also show that females are being left behind in both the pupil and teacher fronts, undermining one of the project's core objectives of including the girl child. For example, in Moroto district, there are only 6 female teachers out of 39. Nakapiripirit has only 5 female teachers out of 16. Nabilatuk only has 5 female teachers out of 15 teachers.
So what we need to see government doing is to actually code these schools and embed them into the UPE program. So for us, we can still monitor and assess the performance of such schools and the children. We are very sure with sustainable funding, the children will actually do better in these community schools.
I'm seated with the learners and teachers of Kanangakinoi Community School in Nabilatuk district. Now this school only ends in primary 4. Should these pupils want to upgrade, they must move to a school that is about 7 kilometers away from here. So coding this school will enable them cut that distance short to upgrade their education. Reporting for UBC News, Wadulo Mark Arnold in Nabilatuk district.
Welcome back, Wadulo Mark Arnold. Now moving on.